Let's be clear. Men and women do not break up because they don't communicate, at least initially. They break up because they don't understand each other. You do not understand or get the very opposite sex that you look to attract. You're out there, oh, what can I find me a great guy? I want this great man. Oh my gosh, right? Or I want to find an amazing, beautiful woman to be my queen and all those things. But you don't understand the very person you're looking to have in your life. You think you do, but you don't really understand them almost at all sometimes, or at least you don't understand the most important parts of them. Now, why is that? Well, that's because simply put, most men and most women hear what they want to hear and they talk about what they want to talk about and they focus on what they want to focus on. And both of you are doing the same thing. And the majority of men and majority of women do this. This is exactly why when it comes to going through relationship conflict or issues, most men and most women will turn to go to their boys or go to their girls, right? And talk to it with the homegirls and you start man bashing. Or you go talk to it with your homeboys, you all talk about how stressed you are by your woman, right? And why do you do that? Well, because women understand other women, right? They can relate to you. They're going through the same struggle. Your homies, they understand the same battle you're going through, right? The same, conversations you keep having to have and that you're so tired of having. They get it. Because, and why is this? Why do you get it? Well, because you're coming from the same base foundation of what you need. The biggest communication problem that breaks it down is that we as people tend to only focus on our needs. It's a basic human survival piece, right? It's primal. Make sure that you're okay. You're taking care of all the things. Notice I didn't say man or woman because it's not a man or woman thing. We all have the same core human needs, but depending on what side of the track you fall on, right, determines the significance of those different needs to each person, right? And it's because of that whenever we're dealing with our partners, we tend to focus on what matters to us most because we understand what matters to us most because it's more significant to our experience. And we tend to not try to understand or give as much attention to what our partner needs, right? Because your first primal instinct is self-survival. And what does that lead to? It leads to men and women, when they're dealing with each other, feeling not misunderstood, not heard, and just not cared for. All those things starts to happen. Not because there's some whole different species than the other side, but because what they need is different. The value structure around the needs is not the same. Now, understand this too. When I say the value structure around the same core human needs is not the same, what I'm really referring to and how it differs between men and women, because we all are the same type of human beings that have the same 6 core needs, right? But which one of those needs is more prevalent to you depends on where you fall in your energy basis. See, it's not really about men or women at all. It's about, do you live heavier in your masculine energy and you therefore have a lot more, significance in the value structure that usually supports masculine energy? Or do you live heavily in your feminine energy to where you prioritize things that nurtures that, right? Let's think about this. When it comes to masculine energy, that's about productivity, building, challenge, taking on things, grit, right? It's very physical. It gets active. It likes to go and accomplish things and be ambitious. That's what masculine energy is for, right? So it's great for accomplishing things in that way, going and getting stuff done. Now, if you look at feminine energy, it's about connection. It's about nurture. It's about embrace. It's about warmth. It's about all the love and the emotion, right? It's the energy basis. And so it's not that men are just one way and women are just another way. It's that majority of men and majority of women, right? Men tend to sit mostly in their masculine energy at the mass level, just like the majority of women tend to be more feminine. And those different energy bases come with different priority towards our 6 core needs. We have certainty as a need. We have uncertainty as a need. Let me also give the quick definition to those needs, just in case any of you have not seen my previous videos on breaking down what those needs are and everything else, or what they mean. So to make the full pie of a human, that is us, right? As human beings, we have those 6 core needs that fits or meets all of our primal animalistic needs to be a healthy, whole human, right? So your need for certainty is your need for reassurance, safety, security, to feel grounded. Your need for uncertainty is the need for surprise, mystery, and excitement and fun. Because if you knew everything's going to happen every day of your life, it'd be a boring life. Then you have significance, which is the need to matter to someone, right? We all want to feel special somewhere. Then you have a need for connection, need for love, right? To feel that embrace and all those things. You have a need for growth. You know how the saying goes, if you're not growing, you're dying. Nothing stays stagnant. And then there's a need for fulfillment, meaning sustainable happiness from serving something bigger than yourself, something you're passionate about that you do that serves something beyond you. We all have those 6 core needs. But out of those needs, which ones are most important to us depends on what you have most value in, right? So let's think about this here. If you look at a man that typically sits in his masculine energy, that's about that challenge and all those things, he's probably more focused on going out and growing, right? Growth, that need's probably big for him in that masculine energy. Taking on challenge, doing things, maybe fulfillment as well, right? Wants to feel like he's impacting this world, maybe even significance, wants to feel like he's mattering because he's out here building something worthwhile in the world, right? That's big for a man in his masculine energy. So while he's going out into the world and taking on the wild, if you will, taking on the world and combating things and using that grit, when he comes home, after he's done going to go do that, what he probably values most is his peace, right? He values being able to come back and let his hair down and relax because he's not out there, having a battle anymore. He's coming to rest, right? So peace is at the top of his list, and even some level of nurture too, right? Wants to be able to let his hair down and have his polarity, the soft, right, come to nurture his masculine, right? When he gets to go take a load off, it's really important to him. But notice in that he wants to go be the challenger to go take on the world. He's not looking to be saved. He wants to be the saver. He wants to be the champion, as I've said so many times before in the past. He's not looking for his woman to do that for him. He wants to be that for the relationship and for the world. So he wants to go take out and challenge the world, and it makes him feel good to be able to take care of and provide for his woman because it fits his masculine energy and nature in that way. Now let's look at the woman on the other side. Feminine energy, right? Where the masculine energy wants to go out there and take on challenge. The feminine energy wants that nurture and embrace and all the things, right? The connectivity. So this is where, while most women, they don't look to want to be the protector in a relationship, right? They look for their man to step in and take on that role. Because while he can be the protector and make her feel safe and reassured and secure, she can now feel safe to let her hair down and do what feels great to her, which is nurture, connect, and love, right? Be the nurturer in the family towards the kids, helping to raise the children or whatever the case is. And by the way, I'm not saying this and saying that all women should do is stay home and take care of kids. It's like, we obviously know women crush it in business and all sorts of things. Nothing wrong with it. But what naturally speaks to most feminine women is being able to sit in a softer role. It feels good. It feels organic because that energy base loves that. It's not about you being a woman or a man. It's the energy base, because you can have people out there that are women that are heavily in their masculine. And they love to go out there and challenge and take on the world. And they don't want to be the ones sitting at home and doing different things. You have men that are a lot more in their feminine energy, right? They like being more soft or passive and all the things, right? It can flip flop, but majority men masculine, majority women feminine. So that feminine energy wants to be protected and feel safe and secure and reassured so she can free herself up to do more of the loving and pour in. She can't be defending and protecting while she's also loving, right? She needs to counter her other half. That's why it's a polarity, right? So she looks for that masculine. So that's where the value structures kind of sit, right? Now here's where it gets to be fun. And here's how I know You don't really understand the opposite sex. You're not fully getting this, or at least you haven't been. Maybe, hopefully you do after this video, but you haven't fully been processing this. And why do I know it? Because 65% of marriages out there, right, report ending because of communication issues, right? And out of that, about 70% of men say their biggest reason why they wanted to walk away was from feeling like there was constant nagging and constant complaining from their woman, right? That burnt their wick out, right? Burnt their fuse out. Then around 80% of women said their reason for wanting to walk away is from not feeling emotionally supported, not feeling emotionally safe, not feeling heard, not feeling cared for in that way. See anything? See any correlation here, right? So what is that saying to you? It says with most men and most women come to the table to talk about things that matter to them, or at least talk through the issues they're having, they're both focusing on what they care about, not what the other side is thinking about. Because where the man and woman are both coming to the table to have a conversation, maybe his lady is, talking about how she wants to be heard more and everything else. All he's hearing is, oh, you're disrupting my peace, right? You're taking that away from me. And then while he's kind of dismissing her, all she's hearing is, you don't care about my feelings and I don't matter to you. Then what happens? Where focus goes, energy flows, and that's what grows. So then both sides doubles down on focusing on what they're not getting or what they feel they're still lacking in not having that peace or not having that reassurance and security. And now it starts to turn into a war now. Now it becomes a big issue. Now you become even less likely to want to listen to the other person. You're more focused on trying to be heard. So it's not that men don't listen, and it's not that women talk too much. It's that neither side is truly trying to understand the other side. So all they can see and hear is the pain and the struggle and the, discomfort that the other side is contributing to versus what the other side is valuing most. They're not seeing what the other side values to really say, okay, I get it. Here's a small tweak I can make to accommodate what you value and vice versa. And that brings the harmony and the peace. So men oftentimes coming home, and they value peace a lot, they come home looking for that peace, right? But when they come home and they feel like they're getting nagged or they feel like they're being criticized all the time, it feels like they're not getting peace. They're coming home to a battle. And when they feel like that battle is because they're being complained at, then now the conclusions in their mind starts becoming, all they hear is, I'm not doing enough or I'm screwing up again, which makes them either defensive or makes them want to just shut down and disengage. And on the other side, when a woman is trying to bring her concerns to her man and he is, I guess, disengaging or being defensive, all she hears is, your feelings don't matter to me, right? Now the table's been set and now you got to go to that war to keep fighting at this point. And because women value heavily emotional safety and reassurance, right? Whenever she's being dismissed by her man, right? It makes her want to double down on trying to be heard because that is so crucial to her. So now she goes and out of fear and concern starts pressing the issue more, seeking connection. She's seeking to connect and feel connected to her man and saved by him. But on his end, he starts feeling attacked more because he's reading some of the sense of urgency, maybe the assertiveness, the aggression, maybe the frustration from her as an attack, when for her, it's scary and fearful for her. She's concerned for not feeling like she's in a safe space, right? So she's not going to probably has to have the best delivery all the time, right? Now, I'm not making an excuse for anyone on any side for dismissing the other person or for coming in kind of attacky. But notice, I'm looking to understand both sides and why they're doing what they do so I can know how I can make an adjustment to help. That's my focus, and that should be your focus depending on whatever side of the track that you are actually on. So fellas, instead of shutting down, reassure her. She doesn't need perfection, she needs presence. Ladies, instead of reacting or approaching him with frustration, lead with connection, the same connection you're trying to achieve, right? He responds much better when he feels respected, not attacked. And for both of you, you have to work more on looking to understand first, not just respond. Listen to understand, not just to have an opportunity to speak, right? That means you have to be able to actively listen, sitting quiet, letting them get it all out, no matter how emotionally charging it is. Use what I call as a passion pause. You feel that, reaction to want to speak, bite your tongue, passion pause. Say that to yourself as much as you can to let them get it all out so you can fully hear them. And then after they've spoken, regurgitate back in your words what you thought you heard to make sure you gathered it right and be focused on, okay, what was I missing here? How can I help this equation here? Right? The more you can understand the person that you want to be with, the better off you are being able to contribute to their experience to where they're willing to want to give you back the experience you want in return. If that's something you and your partner need help with because you're on polar opposite ends of the spectrum communication wise, but you love that person dearly and you want it to work out, you just can't get past this communication misunderstanding thing, then email or DM me the word coaching and we will get to work as long as you're truly ready to put that work in. If you're not ready for one-on-one coaching, don't have the time, space, or maybe even the resources, then at least email or DM me the word revival to join my Relationship Revival Hub community where you can learn the same things I teach my clients one-on-one at your own pace, on your own time. Either way, do something to get in the race. Let's get it.